Alright, so welcome. I wanted to give you a preview of the IELTS course that I'm continuing to work on. So I'm working on part 2 this week. I'm almost finished. I just have to add a couple more lessons and fix a couple more things to be able to add them to the course. Okay, so I want to show you a Band 9 score response, and at the end of this video, I will go over a couple strategies that I used for the Band 9 score. And then finally, I will talk about the course a little bit. So first off, I would like to start by saying that I had a pretty bad experience at the last concert I attended. It was my cousin's recital. It was just last month and I attended her piano show. She needed to give her recital in order to graduate because she is a master's student in music. She gave this concert to the public, but a lot of people that she knew attended the concert. My cousin invited a lot of her relatives and her classmates to watch her recital. Therefore, instead of watching her perform, a lot of the audience talked to each other during her performance. This made the show pretty awful to watch. I felt very uncomfortable watching the show because piano shows are supposed to be serious, but instead everyone talked during the show. If she invited me to another show, I would reject her invitation because it was just an awful experience for me. Okay, so if we go back, we start off with a great introduction here. First off, I would like to start by saying that I had a pretty bad experience at the last concert I attended. So here we introduce the idea of attending a concert, and we introduce the idea that it was a bad experience. Okay, next we provide details about the concert. So what was it? Who went? When was it? So it was my cousin's recital. It was last month. She had to give it for her master's degree. And she gave it in public, but invited a lot of people she knew. So here's our transition, the last sentence. So now we're going to talk about why it was a bad concert, a bad experience. So then here we'd explain, it was a bad experience because my cousin invited a lot of her relatives, and instead of watching, people talked during the show. So then we talk about how we felt during that performance and why it was awful. And then finally, we add a concluding statement. So in the future, if she invited me to another show, I would reject her invitation. So a couple things to remember for part 2. The opening statement. Remember to use a natural opening statement like the examples provided in this lesson. So we can go back to, here are the different opening statements you can use. So you can take a look at these again. And then here are a couple more things to keep in mind. So for part 2, you need to remember that you will have to change tenses. So you will need to change between the past, or the present, and the future tense. Also, you need to make sure you're specific, so provide details in your response. Okay, so that was a sample from a lecture from the IELTS speaking course. It was a shorter part of a longer lecture that you will be able to watch the full lecture if you enroll in the course. Okay, and so there are 2 days left to enroll for the special bonuses for this course. I'm still working on the course, so you'll receive all of this for a special price. You'll receive a live Q&A webinar, also some emails to check in on your progress to make sure you are learning what you should be learning and make sure you feel confident with your IELTS speaking and control over your learning. So I will ask you for some suggestions for how to improve on part 2 and part 3 of the course. And finally, right now it's 80% off for the next 2 days. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below, or if you want to, you can email me, and my email is here at dustin@statseducation.com. Okay, so I hope to see you enrolled in the course, and if you have any questions, let me know.